Lights, camera, debate, ignite, passion strong under the spotlight. Tune in for the clash, tune in for the spark. The critic and the cynic light up the dark.
Welcome back to The Critic and The Cynic. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. This one's called Our Little Secret. We got...
I already hate it.
Yeah, well, thank you. We got Lindsay Lohan with a finger on her lips going shh. And then we got the guy in the film looking at her like, oh, what's this all about?
And please tell me you recognize him. That is Ezra from Pretty Little Liars.
I did not recognize Ezra. Ezra was never my favorite.
Exactly.
But apparently he's still holding on to things about little secrets with fingers on lips. Because that was Pretty Little Liars too. Like, that was the thing. Yep. In the background of this photo, I'm guessing that's a Christmas tree and Christmas lights. It just looks like an explosion to me.
Yeah, it does kind of look like fire, but whatever.
But we're just going to say it's just
unless
Christmassy.
their secret is that they blew up a Christmas.
Yeah, they are they're a couple of criminals that go around. They're arsonists. They're like, it's in the vein of How the Grinch Stole Christmas, but we actually have people that go burning down buildings.
All right, well, if that's the case, then sign me up.
Oh,
this will be different.
Here, before I start reading what it's about, it is rated PG-13.
Oh.
Ooh, I think that's our first one with a PG-13 rating, because even Stripper Man movie was PG. So
they couldn't even pull out the little shorts for the
No, it's shorter. No, those are all pants. So let's take a look here. Let's read the tagline. Have yourself a very awkward Xmas.
Oh, yeah, I actually did read about this one. Never mind. It's not going to be exciting at all. Keep going.
Never mind. Okay, so the premise is actually really short. We have, after discovering their significant others are siblings, two resentful exes must spend Christmas under one roof while hiding their romantic history. I'm confused. Please explain this to me. So are the significant others their siblings?
Okay, they used to date.
They used to date
but
each
now,
other.
they used to date each other. Now they are dating new people, and these new people happen to be siblings. So now the four of them have to spend Christmas together.
Okay, so they themselves are not siblings. I got a little bit confused.
They are not siblings. They are ex-lovers, or whatever you want to call them.
Okay, so it's awkward because they didn't know, and then they're brought back together.
Yep.
And it's like, oh god.
And they're totally getting back together. Let's just call
well,
it.
obviously, what else are you gonna do? Let's see who's in this. We got Lindsay Lohan, as we know. We already brought up Ian Harding. We got Christian Chenoweth, Chris Parnell, Tim Meadows, Henry Cerny are the main names to me that pop out. That's the nice thing about Netflix, is they often have a cast list that I recognize.
Yeah, but just because you've got fatter wallets does not mean that you can make better movies.
That's true. That's true.
All you need is a little heart.
I saw Lindsay Lohan's 2022 Christmas movie. I remember not thinking it was all that special, but who knows? It's nice to see her, out and about and making these types of movies again.
She was an icon in our childhood.
Yeah, and then she disappeared and went crazy for a little while, and usually when you go crazy, you don't come back from that.
You don't come back.
So it's nice to see her at least trying, and I am happy. Like, she showed up as a cameo at the end of the Mean Girls musical that they came out with, which was cool. It's cool to see her do her thing, but and because she's coming back with Jamie Lee Curtis for Freakier Friday or whatever it's called.
Okay, which will also have Chad.
That'll have Chad and Michael Murray. That's right. I wonder if it's gonna be on Netflix, because probably not, because it's Disney, right? It'll be on Disney Plus. All right. Anyways, get off topic.
2 hours later.
So I know that you were crocheting 85% of the time, but did you get a good grasp of the movie?
Yeah, it was messy.
I don't know about messy. I actually liked it. This was one of my favorite films out of the entire experience. And when I'm looking back at Lindsay Lohan's career, especially her most recent Netflix movie, which was Irish Wish, not that exciting. But this one felt, once again, kind of like Meet the Parents, except they had that added little twist of, oops, we used to date, and oops, it's a little bit awkward, and trying to hide it from the rest of the family, which again to me was like Dan in real life.
Okay, but that was super unrealistic because the entire movie they were sneaking away to spend time together.
Technically, everybody was at these events for the most part. They weren't sneaking away. It's just that we got to see more of them spending together and talking because they actually know each other. That's what I got out of it.
Alright, but if I was their significant other and I was watching all of this unfold, even if I didn't know that they used to date, I would be like, there's something fishy going on there.
Well, that's not what the kind of movie we are watching,
Okay.
because if it were, we'd be watching the Lifetime channel.
That's fine. But that's the other reason why I say it's messy. I mean, everybody in that movie was just a hot mess.
I don't know. I liked everybody here. I think for the most part, Lindsay Lohan being in the film is just, she's just there because she's Lindsay Lohan. But I think that everybody else more or less fit the bill. I actually liked Ian Harding in the role that he had. I liked the stoner brother. I thought that that reminded me a lot of the stoner brother and Meet the Parents. A lot of the just random hijinks that happened throughout the movie, again, reminded me of Meet the Parents. Even the dog, the little tiny dog that had the little mishaps throughout the film reminded me of Mr. Jinx, the cat, in Meet the Parents.
Okay.
Well,
It's just, it was not
I would
my
probably
cup of tea.
think the same as you did if I wasn't paying as close of attention as I was from the get-go. I was tied in as soon as the movie began.
I paid close enough attention to know that it probably wasn't for me.
I don't know. I would watch this one again.
It didn't even feel like Christmas at all.
The whole thing was Christmas related.
Okay,
Just like
then-
any other movies are.
Yeah, okay.
Some of the movies you can get by without it being Christmas. I'm not sure if you could get by this one without it being Christmas. Unless you're talking about some other event that brings family together, maybe like Thanksgiving.
Yeah, but nobody makes movies about Thanksgiving because nobody cares.
Well, that's just sad because I like Thanksgiving.
We know.
Yeah. So overall, I mean, there's not a lot to talk about with this movie. It is what you expect it to be. You got a couple of people that used to date. They went their separate ways because it got weird and awkward one time. And then when they come back together, not realizing that the people that they're dating are siblings. And so they have to spend this holiday together. And they try to make the best of it. The guy's doing business stuff. The girl's doing whatever she does.
She's just trying to get what she thought would be her future in-law to like her.
Which is always a difficult thing to do when you're in a Meet the Parents type of situation. And it pretty much ends as you would expect it to do. I don't know if I would say that the chemistry was on point or anything.
No.
I would say that there's definitely quirky, fun chemistry, but not romantic chemistry.
But then again, you're talking about a couple that was presumably friends since birth.
Yeah, you're talking about the people who are supposed to have friendship chemistry, even though in the very beginning it was teased that that friendship got to a little bit more because obviously they did date, but you never really saw it. You never really saw them date except for the very beginning of the movie when they broke up, and that's what you get out of the chemistry with them dating.
Yeah, I don't know. That was kind of an awkward.
So all you really have to go off of is the idea that they are indeed old friends, very, very old friends, and I think that they pulled that off pretty well, just the old friends part. And over the course of the film, I guess it tries to convince you that they have this love for each other, which again, I didn't really buy that, but I still had a good enough time watching the movie as a whole. I thought that in terms of everything that we've watched on Netflix, this is my favorite of the Netflix movies.
Okay, but the bar was pretty low.
Well, sure, a lot of the Netflix movies haven't been all that great. I had fun in elements of Hot Frosty, but again, I think that Hot Frosty took itself too seriously. It shouldn't have. And this was pretty much as you would expect it to be, which is better than I can say Hot Frosty was. I can't remember if this is the last Netflix movie that we're supposed to talk about.
It is not.
Is there one more?
There's either one or two.
One or two more left. Because I guess, we're not even in December yet. So I would hope that Netflix came out with some Christmas movies in December. But, whatever. You have to release as many Christmas themed things as humanly possible before December even rolls around. So, you didn't hit your crap button.
No, because I don't think it was crap. I just don't think I want to watch it ever again.
What would you rate it?
Probably 50% again, because I'm never going to think about this movie at all.
Ah, yes, you're thinking about score. I'm going to go with 70. I was tossing up in my head 70, 75, 70, 75. But when it comes down to all of the movies that we've watched and the handful of movies that I've rated 75, I don't think that this ranks up to that. But I did enjoy it, so I'm going to say 70. And so we have a 50 and we have a 70, which equals out to roughly 60% as a whole. So take that as you will. I don't know what that... It's definitely a divided film, I think. It depends on who you are when you watch it, what you come to expect out of it when you watch it. I enjoyed it.
And I actually think a lot of people are going to be right on board because it's fine. There's nothing that it just screams awful about it. I think people are going to be excited about the casting.
Yeah, there's quite a few people in the movie that you're going to recognize other than Lindsay Lohan and Ian Harding. They had Henry Czerny, who I think I first saw in the Revenge, WBCW show.
That was ABC.
ABC?
Mm-hmm.
My gosh, I thought it was CW.
Nope.
He was in that, but he was also in the very first Mission Impossible movie in the 90s or whenever that first one came out, and he's returned. And he was in the most recent Mission Impossible movie, and he's going to be in the next one coming out relatively soon. So he's actually a big name for a Christmas movie like this at this point. When I first saw him in either Revenge or when you're talking about the first Mission Impossible, he wasn't that big anymore. But the fact that he's come back to blockbusters it's notable at the very least. But there's also some other humorous names that you'll run into in the film as well. Like Chris Purnell was the vet in the film. He's in a lot of sitcoms, I want to say. And
I was going to say, I recognize the mom.
Oh, Kristen Chenoweth. She's in a lot of sitcoms as well. She's been on Broadway, so thank goodness they didn't lean into her Broadway profession, because when she sings like the people in A Carol of Two. So thankfully they're like, no, we don't want any of that. So sometimes people know what people want and they're like, just use your humor and just go with that. So I think for a most part, when it comes down to all these Christmas movies that we've looked at so far, if you're going in specifically for people that you recognize, cast members, I think there's something here that you will enjoy. But we have a handful more or two to watch yet to see if we'll find our masterpiece of this season. But yeah, alright, so 50, 70, and 60 overall. That's the movie. That's our little secret.